Hey YouTube, thank you for tuning in to Crown Vibes. My name is Nikia Rucker. I'm talking about, well, first of all, I hope you guys are doing good today. I'm doing good today. It's a good Friday. I call it a good Friday. So every Friday, I'm just going to come on here and do a soul search topic. Today's topic is the matrix of identity and the programming of who we become as a product of our environment growing older. But before we get into that, I want to announce that I am giving away a free self-love strategy, which you can find the link to below. Just follow the directions below, follow that link, and you will obtain the free love strategy, self-love strategy. And so our soul searching topic today is the matrix of identity and unprogramming the identity crisis of who we become as a product of our environment. And I want to tap on how I first feel about this situation. I feel it is a very crappy situation for us to have to discover, like we don't plan on, when we're little, being who we become when we're older. But it's like we're forced to plan a future that we don't know about, and all we have is what we were taught and the lack of what we weren't taught. And I feel like it's a very crappy situation, but we need to talk about it because there's a lot of children coming up and they're very unaware of how they're being led. It's like the blind is leading the blind, and everyone's just being led in destruction. There's more poverty than ever because no one is leading, no one is teaching, no one has any knowledge about what truth is and how to discover that truth about yourself. So I want to tap on the programming of character development through childhood. So y'all know we are products of our environment. So the people that raise us, the people that teach us growing up, doesn't even have to be your parents. It can be your older siblings, your aunts, and your uncles, your cousins, your grandparents, your teachers, your coaches, anyone who was a part of your life as a child. I say children are sponges because they pick up everything they see and they go with it how they see it. And they don't know if it's right or wrong, but they're just being taught when they see other people do it the way that they do it. Like it's an okay way to do it, or it's an okay thing to do. It's an okay way to live your life. You can go in that direction. And a lot of people don't know that they should be careful around children, and that's how we obtain our identity, through the things we pick up on as kids, pick up on as children. We pick up on the love we see, we pick up on the hate we see, we pick up on the forgiveness we see, the care we see, we pick up on everything we see people showing off in our face. We pick up on it. And I feel like that's where identity crisis come in, because by the time we reach teenage years, we're lost. We don't know where we fit in. We don't know if we should be a part of this crowd, that crowd. We don't know if we should do this, if we should do that. And a lot of times we just want to have fun, but behind closed doors, when it's just us and we really just sit with ourselves, like, who are we as an individual without the outside world being a part of us? Who are we authentically? And I'm more about being authentic than ever. I like my uniqueness. I like that I'm not like others, or that I don't relate to other people or go in the direction other people do. I like that about myself. I don't really care. I feel like I'm unique and authentic, and I love that God created me that way. So if you feel like you don't hold any weight from being yourself, you do. And people's gonna catch your vibe. Trust me, they're gonna catch your vibe, and they're gonna like you. They might even love you. So don't be afraid to be yourself. Always be yourself. Fact of the day, always be yourself. Also, programming. When things become a habit, we become habits. We're creatures of habits. So anything we pick up on, good or bad, it gets to the point where it becomes a habit. It becomes a part of who we are, and we're no longer who we used to be because we became an entirely different person, and we made a habit out of being that kind of person. That's who we become. So you also lose pieces of yourself doing that. And especially if you don't know yourself, if you don't do the soul work, if you don't do the heart work, y'all, please purify your hearts. Okay? The heart is the most important matter about you. The heart is the most important matter about you. And that's real spill. Scripture said, what man think out his mouth, what you say out your mouth, your heart thinks. So, yeah, what a man says out his mouth, his heart thinks of. Yeah, that's it. And I love that scripture because it catch me every time I'm about to say something stupid. And then he said, it's not what goes in you that defiles you, it's what comes out of you. So, like, watch what you say, because your words are a sword, believe it or not. Your words are a sword. It's life or death. As soon as you start speaking, it's life or death. As soon as you start speaking, you're creating your next obstacle. You're creating your next phase of life. As soon as you start speaking, it's life or death. And a lot of people don't get that. They think it's bull crap. Yeah. It's life or death as soon as you start speaking. So watch what you say. I try not to be too harsh on people when I say that. Like, they don't like the truth, but that's okay. You're still programmed to believe that you can say whatever you want and it's going to be peaches and cream. It's not. Unless the devil on your side and he's pulling you with strings and you think you get somewhere and he pull you back 10 steps back because you thought it's okay. You can admit it. I want to say one of my main ways what actually got me to start soul searching was when I first got awakened to Christ. And I was reading my Bible. And it's a lot of conviction in that Bible, y'all. There's so much conviction in the Bible to the point like when you're reading other people's story in the Bible, because it's just a book full of testimonies, and it's everybody's giving their testimony about their experiences with God and what He told them and how He spoke to them and how He reached them and how He saved them and how He healed them, how He built them up into soldiers, into warriors. And those are a lot of testimonies, like. And there's so much conviction because the people they were before God touched them, they had to go through a fortifying process and a mortifying experience. And I've experienced both of those, like, so many. Like, 2020, at the end of the year, I fasted for 2 months straight. Straight water, no food. Fasted for 2 months straight. Because I felt so convicted of the things that was going on in my life and the things that was going on internally, especially with my ways, with my I had an unforgiving spirit. I had a hateful spirit. Like, I was cold. Then I had a grudge against God because I wasn't getting my way fast enough. He humbled me with humility and shame, and it was that humility that brought me back to Him. And because of that, because I was brave enough to accept that change, to accept that humility, and to humble myself with fasting and prayer, and to deny the earthly world and the earthly things, because I had the courage to do that, he blessed me, seriously, spiritually, with gifts and talents and experiences, so many experiences, so much wisdom, so much knowledge. It's crazy because, like, when I don't know, I just like I'm moved to say things. I don't even know how to think of what to say just right off the bat. Like, I'm just moved to say things. It's like I know, Spirit knows when it's the time to speak. So when I start speaking, I guess that's when I just say what needs to be said at the moment. That's how I'm led. Like, if I try to plan something to say, it's not gonna go well. Like, before I did this video, I was like, what am I gonna say? I said, well, I'm just gonna wing it. Say what's led to say. Say what I'm led to say. And I really want to give y'all this strategy that I created with the help of God, of course. When I was going through something, I had my back against the wall, and I just really needed to put my mind over the matter at that moment. The matter was my heart, and I didn't want to face those. Not like I didn't want it, like, not that I wanted to ignore it and let it go, but like I didn't want emotion to take control of me so bad that I lose myself in the entire process, that I fall, you know what I'm saying? And this was last year. No, this was in 2020 when I created this strategy, and it works. Like, it's an everyday strategy though. You gotta use it every day or every 2 days, and it works really good. And it's good for meditating on, and it's good for like healing. If you really want to heal and you really want to get down to the bare bone of your matters, your heart space, and discover everything, you know what I'm saying, inside, internally, that's afflicting you, all of your afflictions. If you really want to get down to the bare bone, this strategy is a good benefit for that. Not just for that, but like, it's good for, you know, choices. It's good for putting you back in a positive loop after you've been in a negative loop and you've been going backwards and reverse. It's good to get you back into a positive loop because it helps you to start over with making a right choice. And what I mean by positive loop is I can start right now. I can do a positive action, and the positive action it'll strike off. You know, it's like a race between positive and negative. If I choose to give energy towards the positive side will do more work than the negative side did. So if I make one positive action, I start something. But if I make two positive actions, I make a move. And then I keep making positive actions that puts me in a positive loop. Therefore, I'm receiving, I'm giving. Like I was saying on my podcast, not too long ago, we sow, reap, and produce all at the same time. We sow, reap, and produce all at the same time just by starting one positive loop. So I'm sowing positivity. I'm reaping back positivity because of it, because it's going full circle. It's going to always come back full circle. So I'm sowing positivity. I'm reaping positivity, and I'm producing the positive that I gave back. I'm producing from it, which put it back in a sowing and reaping position. So I say it's a good strategy. It's a good thing to be in. Like, who wants to be in a negative loop? And I'm tired of being in negative loops. I ain't gonna lie. I always do something to put me back in a negative loop. But I know how to break myself out. But that's a video for another day. We're gonna call that one. I did it before, but I deleted it. I'm gonna put it back up. But we're gonna do that one for another day. Probably tomorrow. Shoot, I ain't got nothing to do. We're gonna do it for tomorrow. And that's really all I wanted to talk about today, guys. But I want y'all to follow my links below. Okay? That's my link to every other link. I got a Facebook page. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And I got 2 podcasts, Evolving Minds and Crown Vibes Manifest podcast. So I thank y'all for tuning in. Whoever watched this, thank you for watching. Whoever sees this video, you know, you're blessed. You're loved. You're promised by God the best of the world. So don't worry. Don't panic. Keep going. Keep focusing. You got it. Period. There's nothing that can stop you. You're unstoppable. And if your head gets heavy, just know that heavy is the head that wears the crown. To whom much is given, much will be required. So you don't have to worry about that because, you know, his strength will uphold you. There's nothing to worry about, baby. So keep going, okay? I believe in you. I love you. Bye-bye.